Hi Cosorians, I'm Chef Margaret and today I'll be making these delicious looking pumpkin spice loaves with maple cream cheese glaze in the air fryer. They are one of my favorite things to make with pumpkin puree. They're so easy to make and the maple cream cheese glaze really sets these up a notch. Hit the subscribe button to become part of the Cosori community, and if you'd like to be notified every time we upload a new recipe video, which we do every Thursday, hit the bell icon. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is mix our wet ingredients together. So I have 3/4 of a cup of pumpkin puree that I'm just going to dump into this big bowl right here. Perfect. I have got 2 large eggs that are room temperature. It's always good to use room temperature eggs when you're making cakes or quick breads like this. Just helps the batter be more even and smooth, and you'll end up with better baked goods. So I have 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and there, 1/2 cup of white sugar. I have a 1/2 cup of brown sugar that's packed. You can use light or dark brown sugar, either will work just great. That goes in there, and I've got 1/2 cup of buttermilk. Perfect. And a 1/2 cup of light flavored olive oil. I like using olive oil, even in baked goods, but you can totally use canola oil or vegetable oil. Either of those will work just as fine. So now I'm gonna use my whisk and whisk everything until it's really nice and smooth. Just like that. Perfect. Get any clumps of sugar out. Okay, and now we're going to add the dry ingredients. This is coming together so fast. I hate using 2 bowls, and having to dirty another bowl with, putting the dry ingredients in one and the wet ingredients in one. This one, it all comes together in one bowl, super quick and easy. So I've got 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. Dump right that in. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Got 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, got 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. And I love this combination of spices. It just really complements the pumpkin flavor, but it doesn't overpower it. So good. Now I'm gonna switch to my wooden spoon or a spatula, and I'm just gonna stir and fold everything until it's just combined. You don't wanna overwork this too much, because anytime you overwork something with flour and you develop the gluten too much, you might come up with some denser, not as light or fluffy baked goods. So I'm just gonna stir it until I don't see any more, flour pockets. This looks great. Now I'm going to get the air fryer preheating. So I'm going to preheat it to 300 degrees. Preheat. That button. Okay. And while that's going, I'm gonna prep the pans. So I have 2 mini loaf pans, and I love them. They fit perfectly in the air fryer. So I'm just gonna grease them lightly with some nonstick oil spray. Just like that. Perfect. And now I'm just gonna fill the batter in my loaf pans about 2/3 full. So you don't want to overfill them, so you will have some leftover batter, and you wouldn't want to overfill these all the way to the top, because then it'll affect how they'll bake. The tops will get too dark and brown and the inside won't cook as evenly. It'll still be a little raw in the center, so just fill them 2/3 full. And then if you have some muffin pans or an extra mini loaf pan, you can do another one. And just have more pumpkin goods around the house. All right, That one looks good for that guy. Now we're gonna do the other one. So perfect. And this is so easy. Perfect to do with kids or, you know, on the weekend. So delicious. You could add chocolate chips to this if you want, or nuts inside the batter. That would be also really delicious. Perfect. Awesome. That looks great. And now I'm just gonna wait till the air fryer is finished preheating, and then we'll pop these in the air fryer to bake. All right, the air fryer is preheated, so let's pop these pumpkin loaves inside. All right, so I'm just gonna carefully put each one inside the basket. Perfect. And now these bake at 300 degrees for 32 minutes, and you'll know when they're done because I like to take a little wooden skewer, put it through the center. If it comes out clean, it's done. If it's still wet, then give it another couple more minutes until they're fully cooked. All right, the timer went off on the air fryer, so let's check out our loaves. Ooh, they look perfect. They are nice and golden on top. They've risen perfectly. It smells amazing in here. I can't wait to dig in. But I have to let these cool completely, and while they cool, we'll make the glaze, the maple cream cheese glaze, and then top them. All right, it's maple cream cheese glaze time. It's so easy to make. So in this bowl, I have 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese that's room temperature, and I'm gonna add half a stick of butter that's also room temperature. And you want them both to be room temperature because they are going to get so much more even, and your glaze won't have any lumps in it, which nobody wants that. It's gonna be nice and smooth. So I'm just using a hand mixer. If you have a stand mixer, you can totally use that too. And I'm just gonna beat this until they're nice and smooth. All right. Those look nice and smooth. Now I'm gonna add the remaining ingredients. So I have 3/4 cup of powdered sugar. Dump that in. I have 1/4 cup of pure maple syrup. Very nice. I've got 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and a pinch of salt. Salt is always good to add even into sweet things. It brings the flavor out. All right, and now I'm going to beat all of this together until it's really nice and smooth. Awesome. It looks really good, and now it's time to glaze. This is kind of like a thick glaze. It's not one of those like super runny glazes, which I like. It stands up and it's not gonna like totally drip and fall on the pumpkin loaves. So these are fully cooled and ready to be glazed. So you can pretty much glaze them, top them however you like. And I also have some pumpkin seeds right here. I like to garnish and sprinkle them on top. You can use pecans, walnuts, your favorite topping that you like. So I'm just gonna, just like this. The maple cream cheese glaze like really sets these pumpkin loaves up a notch, so do not skip the glaze. It is totally worth the extra step. It's fun. It smells so good. I love the combination of the maple flavor with the cream cheese and the pumpkin and all of the spices. Really, really delicious. Okay, awesome. I think that looks good. You don't have to be perfect. Nice and rustic and homemade looking is awesome. All right, and then I'm gonna sprinkle the tops with some pumpkin seeds. I really like the bright, nice green color of the pumpkin seeds. It just kind of reinforces that you're eating something pumpkin flavored. These look so cute. I love gifting like mini loaves like this to my friends or family during the holidays. Everybody appreciates a homemade gift. Awesome. Those look perfect. They are all done, and I'm just gonna clean up and then we get to try these. All right, it's time to taste these pumpkin spice loaves. And so I cut a slice into one, and so you can see how pretty they look inside. It looks perfectly cooked, and I'm so excited to try it. Going to get a little piece to try. Oh, these are so good. It's perfectly cooked on the inside. It's moist and tender. It's got a really good crumb. And the maple cream cheese glaze really just like sets it up a notch. It's not just like an ordinary pumpkin spice loaf. It is so, so delicious. And I know there's so many pumpkin spice loaf recipes out there, but this one is so good. It's really easy to make. The air fryer does an awesome job of getting a good crust, golden crust on the outside and keeping it moist and tender on the inside. I really hope you give this recipe a try. And let me know, what is your favorite thing to make with pumpkin? Leave a comment below and let us know. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.